time in the stillness of night to listen to the whispers of God. He will show you the way. Whisperin Bill, a nickname given to music artist, songwriter Bill Anderson years ago as a result of his warm, soft approach to singing a country song over 60 years. He has captured the attention of millions of country music fans around the world en route to becoming a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Grand Ole Opry, Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, and one of the most popular, most endearing entertainers of our time. This is his story. This is today's Nashville. This is faith. Whisperin Bill Anderson. I have been wanting you on my show for so long, but you are so busy. You're everywhere. I can't keep up with you.
Well, I'm glad you finally caught up with me because I've been wanting to do your show.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you for having me here at your beautiful office, all your awards, and wow, 60 years. Have you been entertaining people?
Doesn't seem like it. Seems like yesterday.
Well, take me back to where it all started.
Well, it all started in Columbia, South Carolina, where I was born. As far as getting into the entertainment business, it started in a little town called Commerce, Georgia, where I went to work as a disc jockey on a local radio station back in the late 1950s. And when I wasn't on the radio, I used to spend my time on top of the tallest building in Commerce, which was 3 stories high. It was a little hotel where I lived. And I used to go up on the roof of the hotel at night after I got off of the radio, and I'd take my guitar up there and I'd sit up there and strum and play. And one night I happened to write a song called City Lights up on top of that hotel. There were no city lights in Commerce. There were a couple of traffic lights and a flashing drugstore sign. And that was about it.
Well, how old were you?
I was 19.
19.
And I don't know, this song found its way to Nashville. It became a hit for Ray Price, and it opened all the doors for me in Nashville. And I thought, well, I'll just go to Nashville and see what's going on. And that was 60 plus years ago, and I'm still here, and I'm still trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, well, you've done quite a bit since then.
Well, I've been very blessed. I really have.
Even though you've been in Nashville, though, you've done a lot of television and talk shows, and tell me about that.
Well, I haven't let a lot of grass grow under my feet. I have moved around a good bit. I went to California back in the late 70s and got very involved in television out there, hosting game shows, which was something totally foreign and new to me. And I found that I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it. And I would guest on a lot of the other game shows and things in California. If you look on the Game Show Network or the Buzzer Network, you'll see reruns of those old shows all the time. Every time they rerun one, I make $11.
$11.
No, I think it's up to 19 now.
Well, I even read that you were on a soap opera. Is that right?
My whole life's been a soap opera. Yeah, after the game show that I was hosting on ABC went off the air, they came to me and said that certainly wasn't my fault that the game show didn't continue. And soap operas were very popular in those days. They were some of the biggest rated shows on television. And they wove me into the storyline on a show called One Life to Live on ABC.
I remember it.
And I played the part of Bill Anderson, which was that was a real stretch.
How long did you do that?
Off and on for 3 years.
3 years.
And we did that in New York, most of it, although we went on location. We went to Knoxville and did some. We came here. We actually filmed some One Life to Live segments at the Grand Ole Opry House. And it was an interesting experience. I enjoyed it.
So you're out in Hollywood. Then you came back to Nashville. What happened after you got back?
Well, they started a network here on cable television called TNN, the Nashville Network, and I hosted a game show there for 6 years called Fandango, and got very involved with TNN. I look better on the radio, but I end up on television a whole lot.
And then you got back into writing and your music?
Yeah, I had really kind of I came to Nashville basically as a songwriter in the late 50s and early 60s. And that was kind of what I hung my hat on for a while. And then somebody said, well, why don't you record some of those songs? And I said, I thought you'd never ask. So I went down the artist pathway along with the songwriting pathway, and one door opened and just kind of led to another. And I've always been kind of curious what's behind door number one, door number two, door number three. And I've had a lot of wonderful, interesting experiences that I never started out to have. A lot of things just happened.
Isn't that wonderful? Tell me how you got your nickname, Whispering Bill.
I don't know. I guess I was blessed or cursed, as the case may be, with kind of a soft voice. And I started early in my career doing some songs where I would sing a little bit and talk a little bit. And a guy named Don Bowman was a comedian on a syndicated television show I was doing. And Don is the first one that hung me with the nickname of Whispering Bill, and it just kind of stuck. And really, I'll tell you, in the beginning, I kind of resented it. I thought, well, they're making fun of me. Mm-hmm. And then I realized that I had something a little bit different and unique. And I also realized that there's a million Bill Andersons in the world, but there's only one they call Whispering Bill. So it became an asset to me. In the beginning, I thought this is not good. And then I realized, as it kind of turned and time went by, I realized that it was good, and it gave me a unique handle. I didn't have to change my name to Conway Twitty.
Well, you even wrote your autobiography, and isn't it called Whispering Bill Anderson? Or?
The first one, I've done 2 autobiographies. I've had such a busy life, we couldn't get it all into one. Yeah, the first one is called Whispering Bill, A Life of Triumph and Tragedy, I think was the subtitle. And then the other one was An Unprecedented Life in Country Music, Whispering Bill Anderson. And we do the whispering without the G, which I guess makes it a little more country, just whispering, apostrophe. Yeah.
So the trials and triumphs, can you tell me one of your trials that you've gone through?
We got long enough? My trials have basically been in my personal life as opposed to my career. My career has been marvelous, and as I said, very, very blessed. I've had a couple of things in my personal life. My wife was very badly, critically injured in a head-on automobile wreck in 1984. And we didn't know for a couple of weeks whether she was even going to live. And she and I had a 6-year-old son at the time. And I had to kind of become mom and dad to him for a long time as she recovered. And she did. She didn't recover, as the doctor said. She rehabilitated and was able to get back and live a fairly normal life not too long after the accident. Well, a couple of years or so after the wreck. And then I've had a grandson who, from the time he was 6 years old, he's 18 at the moment, he was diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer. And that has been a very important part of my life, and a trial, and something that on the family side I've had to learn to live with and accept. Fortunately, the good news is after 12 years, for the first time a few months ago, they announced that he's in remission. Oh. So he's going to graduate from high school and hopefully go to college. He's picked out he wants to be an electrical engineer, bless his heart. Just glad he didn't want to be a guitar picker.
Well, Bill, we're going to talk about what God is doing in your life and how you encourage people that are going through those trials. And we're going to talk about it when we get back from our break.